And the last slide on this one, the content strategy itself. I think you've heard this a million times already. Focus on original content. This is even more paramount right now with whatever changes that Google is making towards its algorithm. There is no point in just taking a viral video and putting it as your content and running it. Google will prioritize who was the original creator of that video and start writing that. Even if it's an interview, let's say it's a great interview, and you just use that interview on your site just to see if you can get some traffic out of it, it's unlikely that you will get. So what would be a better option is, if you, even if you want to work on that kind of content, a better option is to take that content and start looking at your opinion piece on that. It could be about your opinion about that interview. It could be your opinion about that viral video, right? Something around that which is not found anywhere else on the internet. Put some content piece along with that, rather than just taking somebody else's content and saying that, okay, we'll use that straight off. That used to work. It's no longer going to be working in the future. Content syndication. This is extremely important across all of our publishers. We've seen this earlier, I think late last year, early this year. Almost every publisher we worked with was syndicating from various wire services, the PTIs, the ANIs, Reuters, all of these guys, and auto-publishing content on their web pages and mobile apps. The issue with something like that right now is Google starts seeing that you have a lot more content which is not changed at all, which is the same content available on across the web, right? So there's no reason for us to prioritize you, because then your amount of original content is much lower. So in case you're doing content syndication, yes, I'm not saying completely stop it, but be very selective about content syndication. And if you can, do not auto post whatever is available on the net elsewhere. You will need to work on that. You probably can do content syndication, but work on that. It could be changing or adding some more pieces to that, adding your own images to them. Some of that will help in terms of the content syndication strategy itself. And having said all of this, the final part that we've seen, everybody kept saying more content, more traffic, and looking at it with content syndication. But that's all changed. With content syndication, more content does not necessarily mean more traffic. But if you were to do all of this, and that's what we've seen with Prabhat Cover right now, if you were to get a good tech stack, focus on your AMP pages, page speed optimization, have your SEO strategy in place, Prabhat Cover has been consistently increasing the amount of content they've been producing. They were producing about 100 stories a day, moved to 150, look at 200, or probably a little more than that as well. And over a period of time, they're seeing a direct, their traffic increase in direct proportion with the amount of content that they're creating. Because it's not about just creating more traffic. More content. That's not going to increase your traffic. But if you can get the others in a row, if you can get the others issues fixed around your tech as well as SEO, then you can start adding more content, more original content, and it will lead to a lot more traffic. That's what we're seeing from our publishers.
Chirdeep, I have an ethical question on the previous one. I'm not sure if you've seen the GPT-3 AI algorithm, which is now also spitting not only conversations, but then content pieces and so on and so forth, right? Now, with such algorithms at play, right, content is sort of increasing. It will become increasingly commoditized, right? And then volume becomes a very easy game in that case to manipulate, right? What's your take on this? And how do you sort of see some of these capabilities impacting the publisher industry? Because their adoption is increasing on a day-by-day basis, right? And if you said that you saw a linear impact of number of stories onto the traffic impact, right? How do you, and I mean, with AI content, it's a matter of a click, right? One click and you have 1,000 stories published ready for yourself, right? What's your take here?
So, I mean, a lot of publishers are doing this. Bloomberg has a lot of content that's already produced by machines, and something that is data specific, right? If you're looking at market related data, okay, this stock went up on this particular news, you can look at correlation between very specific events. Or let's say all the bank stocks tanked today, and there was some news, you're trying to correlate that news. That can be actually created by a machine and creates it extremely well. In fact, it's hardly possible for us to actually say a human and machine apart in those cases. But there will be content pieces that a machine will not be able to generate. There will be investigative journalism that a machine will not be able to generate. I mean, we can question the ethics of it, whether how much you can generate the content, but I think those will stay. It's also, while Google understands this as well, that most people will be generating content, they will look at engagement on the site. There are already a lot of sites, if you look at, particularly on the financial markets side, this is where AI is being used a lot to generate content. But if the engagement on that content is very low, if I'm just getting the same thing that I've heard in some other news, I'll drop off on that site. So when you see the bounce rates going up, the engagement very low, then Google starts deranking those. So even you may have so much content generated, but it's actually working against you, right? So it's probably better off to start creating content that's a little more engaging. That's the way we see it. But I think AI-based content is going to be here to stay. In fact, GPT-3 is able to even create lyrics for a song, right? So you can have your personalized songs if you like, right? So we don't know the kind of world that we are going to be living in, but these are things here to stay, and we need to figure out a way around it. We just need to figure out a way to live with it.